All right, we're gonna go on an airboat ride. Someone's excited.
I've never been on an airboat before.
They are kind of cool. All right, let's go to the airboat. This is our first time to Space Coast as a family. Well, actually, this is the first time I've ever been to Space Coast, as well as Chelsea. So why not do the most quintessential Florida tourism type thing you could possibly do? Take an airboat ride. Today we're riding with St. John's River Airboat Tours, as it says right there on the fin, and I think the boys are in for quite a surprise. We're all excited to see all the wildlife and nature that we can see on an airboat tour, but of course the first thing we have to do is take care of safety.
It's the sleeping snake.
Of course, we hadn't even left the dock yet and already found some type of nature. A creepy snake. Very fast. If you're a fan of engines or horsepower, this is definitely a must-do. Look up ahead. And before long, we quickly found one of the great North American alligators. They were rather shy. Despite being full of smiles, they weren't very social. So naturally, we did the next best thing. Go fast. And that's always fun. Did I mention it was loud? Well, that's okay. Hearing protection was included. Once again, as grateful homeschooling parents, Captain Mike made this a lot more about education than just speed and horsepower. Even though that part was fun, we got to learn a lot about the animals in the area, the ecosystem, and even these very special protected trees, which over the last thousands of years have learned to live in really wet, swampy conditions with roots that shoot up out of the water to help them consume air. Quite frankly, it was all really fascinating.
The trunks are flared out. This will come down and go in the ground, and that'll go out as a root, and they'll go out so far, and you'll get 5, 8, 9, 10 of them that will feed. You want to go straight down on the ground, want to come straight up. This cypress head we're in is on the man here. Cypress head.
Hey look, a bird! Pretty bird. Oh look, a cow! I know that one. Actually, as it turns out, this entire floodplain, which goes up and down about 5 feet annually, is actually an entire cattle ranch. And despite sharing their space with American alligators, the cattle here do rather well, especially because of all the water for grass and the temperate climate. And despite being minimal, the traffic is always friendly. What did you guys think of the airboat ride?
It was fun. It was fun.
That's it? That's all you have to say? Let me try again. What did you think of the airboat ride?
It was fun.
Really fun. Yeah, really fun. Really fun. And I saw alligators.
You saw alligators?
Me too.
You saw alligators? That's awesome. Based on a recommendation, Chelsea had us dine at Dixie Crossroads, a restaurant famous for its rock shrimp. Here we got to try their powdered sugar covered corn fritters, which were amazing. And of course, Chelsea got to try her own type of appetizer, which she also liked. I of course finished with the specialty rock shrimp, which were like shrimp. Okay, boys, we're in the Space Coast area, and now we're headed to the Brevard Zoo. Yay, zoo! Next up on our stop list was the Brevard Zoo. This was actually a really nice zoo, not as big as many others that we've been to, but lots of places for the boys to get really close to the animals and even look down over the top of them.
Alligators aren't fish.
We also now know alligators are not fish. Another cool activity that could be done here, right over the alligator pit, is ziplining. I did not want to do that, but it looked fun.
That one and even that one. That's the dad snake.
You think that's the daddy snake?
Yeah, that's the dad snake and that's the girl snake.
Oh, it's a
Could
jaguar.
Could that jaguar break?
What do you think?
And there's a lavender and a turtle.
Turtle?
Even that monkey was still.
There was even a cool monkey bridge where the monkeys could walk all around you. Of course, the boys found this to be amusing for some reason. Apparently, Chelsea did too. He's showing off for you guys. Wave to him.
Hi.
One of Chelsea's favorite things about the Brevard Zoo was the dining options. It actually was quite extensive. Look at those fries, and of course that fancy salad. Another great thing was the size of the portions. They were actually quite large, which is great because the boys, well, they eat a lot, most of the time.
They don't.
Guys, kangaroos! Now make no mistake, this guy looks cute, but I honestly think they were evil. Show me, Aaron. Show me. Probably plotting some sort of world takeover.
Put your face right up there.
Look at that sinister face.
Don't move your foot, Dora.
Your destination is on the right.
Our first big tourist stop was Ron John's, a gigantic surf shop. We made sure to pick up an extra pair of sunglasses and some swim shorts for the boys. Oh yeah, Chelsea, looking good. Then we shot across the street for some key lime pie and a really strange pet alligator.
Touch your eyes, we'll touch around your neck.
Touch her tail.
Is that where I could touch her?
Yep.
This thing's so alive.
You alive.
Finally, we headed off to the Cocoa Beach Pier. Fun tip, not pronounced Cocoa. And the boys' first chance to swim in the Atlantic Ocean, which for me seemed actually kind of significant. One cool thing about being a father of 4 boys is you get to imagine what it's going to be like when they're teenagers, heading off to the beach, looking as cool as they possibly can. Then of course comes the moment where they're supposed to take their shoes off and you realize they got a long way to go. But that's still okay. One of the neatest things about the Atlantic Ocean is how warm the water is as it comes up from the Gulf Coast. We spent a couple hours playing in the water and then rinsed off before heading to our hotel. Hey boys! So where are we going now?
Kennedy Space Center.
What do they do there?
Space Center. Reporting for duty.
What do they do at the Kennedy Space Center?
They launch rockets.
What kind of rockets?
Space rockets.
Bottle rockets?
Reporting for duty. Launching rocket in 5.
Okay, we're gonna go to the Kennedy Space Center and see
Lost stop.
where they launch the rockets, the important ones. As a kid, I grew up loving aviation, and this was my first time to the Kennedy Space Center. Actually, I was super excited to spend this very first visit with my children. As we approached the front gate, my anticipation just started building. To see a place that actually changed the entire course of the world, well, that was something really special. Fun fact, the line to get into the Kennedy Space Center is as long as a Saturn V rocket, but definitely not as fast. but that's okay. Everything inside was definitely worth the wait. Oh, and pro tip from Chelsea, make sure you get your bus tickets as soon as possible.
Efforts that will be critical for missions to Mars. This is a partnership, not just government. VAB? It's so huge that the Roman Colosseum would fit on the roof with room to spare for a parking lot. By volume, the VAB can fit 3.5 Empire State Buildings.
As we entered the building, I really had no idea what to expect, but I definitely was in for a surprise. I thought it was just going to be an animatronic tour. Up there.
Moving forward, in order to make room for the guests entering behind you, guests with special
History is not being made. Destiny is being embraced.
And then, after a short video and display introduction, I got to see one of the coolest things I'd ever seen in person. A real Saturn V rocket. Honestly, guys, the video does not do this justice. This was absolutely massive. If you love science, American history, and the way in which the United States became one of the most dominant superpowers in the world, and you want to learn how and where it happened, this is a must-see. I mean, this is an icon of the era of Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Chuck Yeager, Neil Armstrong, and so many others. I mean, just a decade before this, we had barely gotten into jet propulsion. The United States military was running on propeller planes. And then we created a machine, a football field or more long, that could take us to other celestial bodies. This was absolutely amazing to see.
Look at the balls on that thing.
And then, of course, Chelsea said that. But honestly, that didn't take away from the entire experience. She's just really weird. What was even more amazing was when I realized everything here wasn't just a model. It was the real thing. An actual, tangible piece of not just American, but world history. After exploring for more than an hour in the Saturn V rocket area, we went on to see the space shuttles. This is the actual space shuttle Atlantis. The impact this had when it actually hit me, that this was actually a spaceship that took humans to and from Earth, was amazing. This thing was absolutely incredible to see in person. And even more impactful was remembering the sacrifice needed to be made for those same advancements. This was a fantastic way to teach the boys that as cool as science is, it's not without its sacrifice, including effort and hard work, desire, drive, determination to achieve something far beyond this world. Like this place? Watch your head. Cool. With Chelsea's outstanding research ability and a little bit of luck, we actually found out there was going to be a rocket launch this very same day. Across the water from the Kennedy Space Center was Shiloh's Steaks and Seafood. Now, this restaurant has an amazing view of the launch pad, and tons of people come out here to not only have the key lime pie, but to watch pretty much all the rockets take off with an unobstructed view. Another advantage of going there is all the pie. and they had a lot of pie.
Know how potatoes are a very, very big deal in Idaho? Key lime pie is a very, very big deal to Florida. It's like their state food. So we're all gonna try it, okay?
I'm not entirely sure how true that is, but it's important to teach the boys new things. They can work on accuracy later. Don't let that face fool you. The key lime pie was actually really good. He's just a grouch.
20 seconds it's going to. Oh, it's entering the startup mode. Stop calling messages.
And then after a lot of pie and a little bit of waiting, we finally got to see it. Listen to that power.
What do you think, Alec?
As parents, the Kennedy Space Center and Space Coast in Florida was one of the greatest places we never thought we would ever visit. If you're planning a trip to Florida, make sure Space Coast and the Kennedy Space Center and any of the surrounding areas is one of those places you plan on visiting, because it could be life-changing. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like, comment, or subscribe if you want, and be sure to follow along next time on our next adventure. See you then.